Have you noticed something? The same people who once said America is not all that, my home country is better, are now online crying and begging and saying, please let me go back. That's the part nobody wants to talk about. So my FYP have been flooded with videos of people who were deported from the US after 10 years, 20 years, or even 30 years. And now they are speaking out. They are emotional. They are frustrated. Some are even saying they didn't realize what they had until it was gone. And one phrase keeps popping up: you don't know what home is until you get deported. But here's the real question. See, deportation is not about leaving a country. It's about losing stability, losing opportunities, losing the system you got comfortable in. And for some people, it's the first time they have truly had to face consequences of not facing their legal status when they had the chance to. And don't get me wrong, deportation is tough. Is emotional. It breaks families apart. But we also have to ask the uncomfortable question. Why wait till enforcement starts before you try fixing your paper? Why ignore the warning signs? Today, we're going to look at some of those videos, break it down, and talk about the reality nobody wants to say loud. Because sometimes the wake-up call comes too late. My name is Faith, and you're welcome back to Chat with Faith. If this is your first time, I'm glad you found this channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a conversation. And as always, credit goes to the original creators for every single clip used in this episode. This video is for educational purposes and awareness. It is not meant to hate or discriminate against anyone. The goal is to discuss real challenges and perspective openly and respectfully. We've got more clips and conversation coming your way, so stay tuned. Let's chat.
Today is just one of those days, guys, that people don't see behind the scenes of what a deportee goes through. The thoughts, living alone with your own thoughts. And sometimes you ask yourself, why me? But yeah, this is one of those hours. I won't say days. I won't say day, because it comes and goes, and it, yeah. But y'all just keep me in prayer. Just something I have to go through, and it's a part of my healing process. Yep. Y'all be blessed.
Getting deported after 30 years. Check out my life now. I don't even know what to do and how to start. But let's go with this journey. Let's see how it is. Wow.
So how do you feel? Lonely? Me too. I feel lonely. I miss my sisters. I miss my friends. But I have you and Papa. That's all I care about. I have to take care of my parents too. They're old, huh? They can't do anything. Okay? Que tenga compasión y lo deje cruzar, que lo dé un apoyo, que los apoye, que de verdad venimos sufriendo, con 6 meses de sufrimiento. Yo ahorita no sé, ya no sé qué voy a hacer con mi vida aquí en adelante.
One stupid mistake cost me everything. I'm a tattoo artist here in Tijuana. I've been here for 10 years. I got deported in 2015 and I served a 20-year sentence out of a 29 to life. At that time, I didn't realize what a waste of time of life, you know. I just didn't care, you know, but that was just how I lived in a gang culture. But now that I'm free and I've been living this life and I can look back, man, I can't even believe somebody would do that kind of lifestyle. It's a total waste, man. Total waste of life being a gang member or a criminal. Living a decent life and working for a living and having a good life and enjoying life, that's the beautiful thing about life. People can change. People can change the way they live. People can change their lifestyle, man. I'm a living proof, and you know what? Today I look at all that stuff and I can't stand it. And enjoy your life, man. God bless.
Do you want to know what the other side of deportation looks like? Do you want to know what it feels like to have a family member taken by ICE? Can you imagine what it feels like? Not knowing where your family member is? Can you imagine waking up and seeing that your family member has been trafficked, again, out of state lines, without any communication to the lawyer that you're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars to? Can you imagine that? I don't have to imagine it. On October 23rd, 2025, my uncle, a Somali man, was kidnapped and trafficked by ICE in Maine while trying to renew his worker's permit. He is a person with no criminal past. He has no criminal history. He's a working class man, an immigrant from Somalia who has lived in the United States for over 20 years. He's paid taxes for every year that he's been here. He's contributed to his local economy every year that he's been here. And he was still taken by ICE in Maine, a state that nobody is even talking about. In the discussions about ICE raids, nobody's even talking about Maine. They're taking people from Maine. They're taking Somali people from Maine. They're taking black people from Maine. They're taking African immigrants from Maine, like my uncle. After they took him, we found out that he was trafficked into Boston. He was placed at Plymouth Correctional Facility, which is a prison in Boston, Massachusetts. We were able to retain a lawyer in Massachusetts, and he was able to speak to him, so we were able to have a direct line of contact with our uncle for the 7 weeks that he was in detainment at that facility. For those 7 weeks, I don't know how to put into words what it feels like to know somebody you love is in a horrible condition. But we didn't give up. Obviously, he has a huge family behind him, and he had a lawyer behind him. And our lawyer tried multiple times every day to get in contact with ICE. My uncle was trying to comply with them. He was trying to get a bond so that he can go get his stuff arranged and leave willingly. And they still did not talk to our lawyer once. They didn't communicate with us. My uncle is a middle-aged man, so he has a few health issues that were not treated while he was in ICE custody. And he was also given food that was horribly unnutritious and cold and nothing that anybody could eat. He was treated so horribly. In the ICE facility, he told us that there is no privacy in the bathrooms. So obviously there's a level of dignity that they're taking away from these people, especially Muslim people who are in there. But in general, everybody, nobody deserves to not have privacy when they use the bathroom. He told us that there are no beds. The lights stayed on all 24/7. He told us after 6 months, some people who have been in there for 6 months, you can get some sort of electronic device provided by ICE. He was not in there for that long, but he told us that there are many people in there who've been in these facilities for over 2 years. somewhere in the middle of December, they began trafficking him again after 7 weeks of no communication from ICE to our lawyer, even though our lawyer was based in Boston. So he went there physically and they never spoke to him. Our family, his matrilineal family, so he's my uncle through my mother, their brother and sister, we all live in the state of North Carolina. He lives in Maine. So we decided to get in contact with our state representatives. We signed some consent release forms for them to inquire ICE about our uncle. They didn't do anything. North Carolina senators, you didn't do anything. You didn't help us. You didn't respond. You didn't ask ICE about my uncle. You didn't do anything. And so in the middle of December, around December 14th, he was trafficked again to the south. This happened after his commissary changed to say ICE Air. If you have a family member in ICE custody, if their commissary says ICE Air, this means that they're going to traffic them across state lines. We didn't know where. So we just had to wait for him to call us back. We got a call from this kind woman whose husband has been in ICE detention for over 2 years, who made friends with my uncle, and he called us on his behalf to tell us that he was trafficked. So these are the ways that people are finding about the location of their loved ones, not through any type of system, location system that ICE should have already set up. We are finding out through secondhand accounts, through through immigrants who are trying to help friends that they are making in these horrible conditions. My uncle obviously was frightened after being trafficked to another facility in the South. I believe the first one was in Mississippi. Within around 48 hours, he was moved again to 2 more facilities in Texas. At this point, he was sort of aware that he was bound for deportation, despite every attempt that we made to try and get any sort of communication with ICE to deal with this in a more humane way. And then on December 8th, 16th, 17th, 18th, these dates, I cannot give you firm dates because they are trafficking these people and they're not telling us when they're leaving. They do things before they tell us. So around these dates, he was deported back home to Somalia, and on the flight, he told us there was a Nigerian man who was extremely panicked, and he said that ICE and Border Patrol injected him with something to sedate him. He told us that ICE beat him severely, and he has suffered broken bones because of it. This is not a unique experience in these ICE facilities. We're dealing with physical assaults in there. You're dealing with sexual assaults. You're dealing with torture. You're dealing with withholding food. You're dealing with the type of everything that is in your fucking mind, you're dealing with. So the fact that you people are just now waking up because a white woman was shot in Minnesota. I'm a Somali woman. ICE has directly impacted my family. ICE has directly impacted the city that I have been born and raised in, Charlotte, North Carolina. In fact, they came down here and began terrorizing this city, much like they terrorized Chicago, exactly like they terrorized Chicago, actually, and exactly like they're terrorizing Minnesota right now. They came to my city and harassed immigrants in my side of Charlotte. And you know what I did? I still went to protests. I still joined ICE verifier trainings. I, just like Renee, was also watching community watch around locations in my city where immigrants are. It's not that fucking hard. So to see you idiots talk about what can we do, we can't do anything. The playbook is right in front of you. Do something. Get the fuck up. It's too late for so many people. Get up. Get up.
Estranged relationship with my bio family, and I've chosen to go no contact with them for 2 years, and I feel like me and my daughter deserve our own bloodline, and I would love to start that, and I would love for all the people in the future who are going to carry my last name in the future to know that this bloodline, the Loves, started from a Black queer woman who chose to love herself first. So.
Okay. I love that. All right. So, and I am required to ask you, you're not making this, you're not requesting to change your name for the purpose of defrauding any creditors, the government, or anyone else, correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then I am going to grant your petition, and I will be signing an order today that officially changes your name to Bertie Ophelia Love.
Thank you.
And which, by the way, is a beautiful name.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Miss Love. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
My dad had a heart attack yesterday. I live in Mexico, and he lives in the United States. I moved here to Mexico after my husband was deported back in 2019. I guess you should say my dad's doing okay. Seems to be doing okay. But back to the 2019, my husband was deported back in 2019. So I moved here to Mexico. Love my life here. Have a really good life. But this is the first time when it's been a bit hard for me because I would obviously love to be able to go and visit my dad right now. But it's just not a possibility. I can't do that. I live in a whole different country than my father does, and I can't be there. And this is going to be the reality not only now, but there will be other times that this is the reality of living in a separate country from your family. If you could all just say a little prayer for my dad that he continues to heal and recover from the heart attack, that would be greatly appreciated. Hopefully I'll be able to make it up there within the year to go visit with my family.
What's up, guys, ladies, everybody? Just in case y'all want to know where I've been at, I haven't had power at home since like Friday. So this is temporary hotspot. It's been cold as hell, so I have not been staying home. Just an update on the TikTok algorithm and all that stuff. There's glitches, everything. This morning, what's today? Tuesday, the 27th, 2025. There's an update on the app, so update it. Everybody who has not updated, there's certain phones that don't automatically update, and even if you think it updated it, check it. I'm gonna put it on here. I just got the update. I updated it in my TikTok. I fixed all the bugs, so hopefully this helps y'all. Peace out. See y'all soon. Hopefully I get light today.
Loved my life in the United States. The only reason I came to Colombia was because I got deported, because for 24 years I lived there illegally. I have a whole deportation video, but the gist of it is that I got a bunch of traffic tickets. I rolled a stop sign, got a ticket for that. I was driving on a expired license, got a ticket for that. Went in front of a judge. The judge said, "Can you pay the $4,000? I was 27 years old. I said, "No, I don't have that. Can I pick up trash on the side of the road or payment plan?" She said, "Yeah, you could do that. Or you can go to the local Huntington Beach jail in California for the weekend. You go in after work on Friday evening and you're released on Sunday and all of your fines get wiped." And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that.
So you guys think that missing your friends back home in the US is bad? Wait until you've been in Mexico for like 20 years and all of a sudden, like this past week, for some reason, like old classmates of mine have been finding me on Facebook. There's a new Facebook, so I guess it's kind of just like throwing it out there, I don't know. And they added me, and it's just weird because the fact that they all stayed home, I don't know if I could just ever like connect with them like that again. Like I have friends that I grew up with in the suburbs that follow me here, and some of them are Trump supporters, of course, because you guys know that I was raised in Texas. So I feel like I don't know if there's even like any common ground anymore, you know? And that makes me a little sad because it seems like now that I look through their lives, or like they'll pop up on my feed, I'm like, they live such different lives. I mean, they never left the suburbs. They never went to prison. They never went through the struggle. Like, they don't know what any of this is. They don't know what it's like to struggle out here in Mexico, to, you know, literally live like the ranch life type of thing for years, be away from your family, be away from your kid, you know, all that. Like, they've never known any of that. So I feel like, I mean, if you're following me here, you're probably connecting with me because you done went through some trauma yourself, whether it be deportation or prison or whatever, right? So I guess we connect because of our pain. I was reading that in a book one day, Brene Brown saying this. She was saying how humans have that ability to connect through, probably even more through pain than joy, you know. We can connect through life experiences, period, but I feel like pain just like connects us a little more, and for some reason I feel more connected to the people that have been through the struggle, you know, than those that haven't. So it's like, I mean, yeah, we'll see each other on social media, but I don't know if there's just anything to hold on to anymore, you know.
Watching some of these deportation stories is truly heartbreaking. People who grew up in US, built their life there, and suddenly have to move to a country they barely know, or maybe haven't even been to since they were kids. Everything familiar is gone. Their homes, their friends, their routine, all of it. And it's not just about the person who was deported. Sometimes it's their spouse or kids who now have to make impossible choices just to stay together. Imagine having to uproot your entire family and move to Mexico, Africa, or anywhere else your loved one has been sent to. It's a struggle, it's painful, and it's completely out of your control. And what's even harder to watch are families being torn apart. Sometimes the person themselves is deported, but often is their spouse, and the rest of the family is left to decide. Do we leave everything behind to be with our loved one? Do we start over in a place we have never lived before? These are decisions no one should have to make. Some people are sent to Mexico, others to African countries, places they may have only visited once or left as children. Everything they knew, every friendship, every comfort, gone. And for kids, it's even tougher. Imagine being a teenager and suddenly having to leave your school, your friends, your neighborhood, the things that have made you feel safe. It's heartbreaking, but it's the reality for so many families today. And here's the lesson many learn the hard way. Wherever you live, wherever you settle, make sure your documents are in order. Being undocumented isn't just inconvenient, it's life-altering. People try to live normally, but the truth is, it only takes one notice from ICE, one enforcement action, and your whole world can completely change in an instant. Documentation isn't just a paper, it's your stability, it's your safety, and your family's future. So if there is one thing I want you to take from this, is this. Life can be unpredictable, and sometimes choices aren't ours to make, but preparation is. Make sure your paperwork is in order. Make sure your identity is protected, and never take your home for granted. If this video made you stop and think, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts and your own story below respectfully. I want to hear from you. These are real struggles and they deserve to be seen, heard, and understood. See you in my next video.